you know, I don't know, one-offs and things like that. But I was thinking, wow, these are really... Hi, this is Dena with Left Lane Finds, and welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be the haul video from all the shopping that I did on Black Friday and on Saturday. The link for the thrift with me will be down below in the description. I'm going to do the stores in order, so I'm going to start out with the Habitat for Humanity Restore, the items that I got there. Let's just start. I got these adorable little ducklings. Aren't they cute? Let me just show you that one. And then, oh, is it going to focus on this one? Oh, it sees there. So these were in the tchotchke area of the store. Most of the store, as you know, is filled with furniture. So they didn't have a lot of housewares or house goods, but they did have some. And I found the shelf that I was like, oh, this is where I want to be. And so I picked up this one and the other one. Now this one's slightly more pale than this one. It always makes me think male and female. Now we were having a discussion as to what these are used for. I thought maybe tea lights, but my daughter thought maybe eggs. And then I was like, oh, that would be so pretty to display like painted eggs inside the little ducklings. Now, there was no prices on these, and they did have a sign up by the register that said, if there's no prices, they weren't going to sell the item to you. They sold them to me anyways. The woman was like, oh, I'll just put down $1, $1 for each of those. I'm like, yes, I'll take them for $1. The next item, oh, let's see here. The next item I picked up were the rabbits. You guys can see a theme here. I was in the Easter aisle, Easter items of the aisle. So this was also $1, and it is handmade. It says August 20-something, 25th, 1983, and it is signed down below there. So this is one of those ceramic classes back in the day where you go and paint your own items. I just love how pastel these were. And there's no, you know, chips or cracks or anything like that on it. Oh, it's focusing on my face. There we go. Now you guys can see it better. So, paid $1 for this too. And then the fourth item I got was him. Isn't he adorable? Look how cute. He is like this fat head bunny. Well, he does have a mark on the back right there. Not sure what that is. That might come off. And he is made in England. Show that to you guys. Hopefully you can see this because I have to put it up to the camera. I'm kind of blind to the camera when I do that. So I just loved him because I've never seen like a fathead bunny like this. It's just so adorable. And so I was keeping with my theme of only picking up these Easter items, even though, you know, we're coming into Christmas. Oh, that is definitely in the glaze, that little mark. So he also was not marked. They gave them to me for $1. So I was like, oh, okay, $4. She goes, that'll be $3.18 with tax. And I'm like, oh, and I start looking around the register and it said 25% off. I will take that all day long. Always love getting a discount at the register because there was no signs at all coming into the store saying that they were having any type of Black Friday sale or anything. So I was like, well, I guess everything's full price, but we'll see what, you know, I can find. And so I found these items. Up next is going to be the items from St. Vincent de Paul. And there, I only found a couple items. This was another thing. These stores didn't really say what their sales were or what hours they were running to. Like some stores, you know, do those early sales where it says only from 8 to noon is a sale for Black Friday or anything like that. They kind of like did it where there was like the little tiny handwritten sign somewhere, and if you didn't see it walking into the store, you had no idea. And then the customers were all talking about the sales when you're walking around, but they were just guessing. They're like, oh, I think these are 50% off. And I'm like, I'm not going to go by that. So anyways, when I only got 2 items, and it was these. Aren't they adorable? I'll show you this one first. These are this plastic canvas where you use the yarn or thread, whatever you want to call it. It's more like yarn. And you do like a needlepoint stitch on the plastic canvas. Now my aunt and really got into this back in the day, and my mom kind of got into it but decided it really wasn't for her. And so she had bought supplies but didn't really like it, so she sold them all to her sister to do. I like that these are flat and they're door hangs, and I'm like, ooh, or they could just, you know, go somewhere so they hang on the door. But definitely good for vignettes. I think I might be using them before I list them for resale. Now the Easter items, I'm not sure how much I would get for those. I definitely want to use them in vignettes before I put them up for sale. So these items will not be listed for sale anytime soon. Well, the Christmas ones will go up into a vignette, and then these will be listed maybe right after Christmas, maybe right before Christmas. It depends on when I film that vignette. So that was $2.11. They were supposed to be $2 a piece. They were 50% off, so I got them for $1 each plus tax. So didn't spend a lot in the first 2 stores. And I spent a lot of time there. If you go and watch the thrift with me, you can see I hit, you know, lots of different areas of the store, but I just couldn't find anything that I could really like flip for a profit. And so the next items are all from Saturday. And Saturday I went, it was snowing, which, you know, I was not prepared for, did not have my scraper in the car. And I'm like, oh, well, it's only snowing a little bit. It's really light. I'll let the windshields take care of it. Well, that was not the case when I came out of the store. So anyways, so on Saturday I went to the Grace Center of Hope. This was a new thrift store to me. These were all new in terms of where I was, because I was up like 45 minutes north of where I live. But I had all heard of those other 2 stores, but I had not heard of this third one. So I was like, oh, this is like maybe a church-run thrift store. Get in there, and everything, the whole store was 75% off. I'm like, that's what I want to see. When you walk in the door, they let you know everything's 75% off. I was like, get a cart. I'm going to show you some small things over here, and then I'm going to stop the video. I'm going to grab some larger items and bring them over, and then I'll show you those at the end. I think in the video, the first thing you guys might have seen, let me think. You might have seen, that's right, you saw this item. Right here. I just love this. As soon as I saw it, I knew right away it was vintage. I just love that shape of it, the apples with the leaves and the colors. Just love the colors of it. And it's Pottery, and they had it listed for $3.99. Of course, everything was 75% off. Just love that. So I would think I would get somewhere, you know, around $15 to $18 for this item. I am going to list this item up. The next item you guys saw when I put I'm just checking that, make sure that wasn't a crack. It's just uneven. The pottery on this is uneven. When I put that in the cart, I already had a small little lamp in the cart, which I actually picked up, and that's not going to be in this haul. I picked that up because my daughter needed it for putting in a bedroom, so I picked that up for her. But I saw this, and see that down in the center there? That is a flower frog. It's a metal flower frog in there. And this is the first flower frog that I have found. People find these all the time. They find all different kinds of them. I never find them. Or if I ever even so much as looked at like the glass ones that have the where you can put the marbles on top if you want to use them that way, they're always so expensive. So this one is by the Great Bay Pottery Company, handmade in Hampton, New Hampshire, 2002. So it's not quite vintage. It was close enough for me, and I just love that design. Here, I'll get my face out of the way so you guys can see. I just love the flowers on there. I think those are irises, like blue irises. That's what it looks like to me. So I am keeping this for me for a little bit. I'm going to use it in some decor, maybe some vignettes, maybe throw it into a tiered tray, something like that. So you'll see that in future videos, and then eventually I will, I will sell it, because technically it'll be 20 years in January. So it's not too far off from being technically vintage. Another item I picked up, as you guys know, I pick up things that aren't necessarily vintage because I sell everything. I found this, and it's just a, coffee craft. It's a replacement one, but if you guys can see the name on there, it's right there. It says Shot. And I was like, I know that name from somewhere. I'm like, that's an unusual name, because usually when you're looking at the coffee pots, you see a lot of like Mr. Coffee, and I don't ever pick those up. I do pick up the Cuisinart ones. I recently sold one not that long ago. Those usually sell pretty good. And I have one more left. It's a smaller white one of the replacement crafts of the Cuisinart ones. So I picked this up. So this is like Bunn, B-U-N-N, and then Shot. I believe like they're the same company or related companies or something like that. So this is from a more expensive coffee maker, and that's why I picked it up. If people break these, they're hard to find. So I thought, I'm definitely going to get this and list it up. It was $2.99, but 75% off. And I'm going to list that up probably for $20 or $25 on eBay. Now, let's pick up these two little cuties. You guys saw these. Aren't they adorable? These are those little Homeco Mouse. Mouses? Mouse? Mice! I meant mice. Homeco Mice. Oh my goodness. So one is holding an ear of corn. Oh, let me get my face out of there. One is holding an ear of corn, and the other one is holding a little piece of cheese. Isn't that cute? Now, Homeco usually puts them out in groups of 3, so I heard. And sometimes people won't pick them up if they're not in sets of 3. But I was like, what's wrong with sets of 2 or sets of 1? I'm sure there's always people looking for, I don't know, one-offs and things like that. But I was thinking, wow, these are really... Oh, his foot is chipped. Oh, no. Well, guess what? I'm only going to be selling one mouse. Maybe that's why I was channeling mouse instead of mice. What does that say under there? It just says Homeco made in Taiwan. I don't think that's anything under there. Well, I wish I had seen that earlier. I would have just picked up just the one. Well, I was planning on using these in tiered trays and vignettes. I can still use the one with the broken foot. So I can use both of them and just sell this guy. And they were initially priced at $1.99. Oh, this one was $1.99. And this one's $1.49. That should have been my clue. They discounted it 50 cents because he was missing a foot. Oh, well. Well, he's mine now, and you will see him in future videos. So if I do list him up, I would think he would go for anywhere between $6 and $8 by himself. Again, he's not going to be listed up for sale anytime soon. The only thing that's really going to go up right away will be that coffee craft. Okay, so that's everything I have on my little table right here. I'm going to stop the video so I can grab the other 2 items, and I'll be right back. Right as I went to get up, I realized I had stuff behind me. So I have a few more items before I go get the bigger items. So this, I did film part of this, but then I must have forgot I was filming and I turned my hand down, and then it was all just like crazy filming of like the floor and the, I don't know, crazy angles and things like that. I had to delete all that footage from the video, so you guys didn't see me pick this up, but I just love this. It's like a heavy pottery, and it is, I'm going to turn it so you guys can see. It's Hall. Pottery. It's got the holly berries on it, and it had a big bowl and 2 little bowls. They all say Haul. Now this one's a little more rubbed off. There's that one. Made in USA. These are like heavy pottery. This one, or the big bowl was $1.99, and the little bowls were 75 cents each. Again, everything was 75% off, so I got deals. I am definitely going to be listing this up for sale. You'll see it in a listing video. So I'm going to sell it as a set, the three pieces together, and I'm thinking with, I didn't really look this up. I can't remember what the comps were on this, but I'm thinking the 3 pieces together somewhere in that $20 to $22 range for the 3 pieces. If it's more than that, when I look it up, you'll see that in the actual listing video. And let's see here, this is the last item of the small items. You guys saw me pick this up. I kind of ran over when I saw it, because most people would not know right off the bat what this is, other than, you know, oh, you can hang stuff on it. The orange one that I have that matches this, I thought it was a jewelry holder until I saw somebody actually hang the vintage mugs on it, and then I realized it's for mugs. It's to be in the kitchen on your counter, and it looks really pretty if you get the vintage mugs, like, you know, either the milk glass ones or, oh, there's so fuzzy on there, the milk glass ones, or like those 70 type vibes, or, you know, 60s and 70s, like the vibes of it. So this said $2.99, 75% off. I think I can probably get, like, you know, 10 to 12, maybe even $15 for this. And now if I found a set of 6 mugs to go on it, then it would be a lot more. But I have not found like a set of 6 mugs like that that would be all in the same theme. So I think I'm just going to sell this, because I'm sure people collect mugs, but they don't have the holders, and they're looking for these. So I think I'm just going to sell this as is. Now I'm going to stop the video and go get the last 2 items. Okay, I'm back. You can see it right over my shoulder here, some of the big items I got. So in the thrift with me, there was a cart shot where I kind of gave you a quick review of what was in my cart, and it was just filled with lamps, lampshades, and I also had some placemats in there. The placemats were for my daughter for her table, and the lamps, all the lamps in the whole store were all marked at $5.99 or under. The one lamp I got was $4.99 or something like that. And so they're 75% off. So that means if they're $5.99, they were really only like around $1.50 or $1.49. If you just say $6, 75% off would make it, you know, $1.50 a lamp. So I was like, oh my goodness. So I was looking around at all these small lamps, and this gentleman who worked there said, oh, because he just saw me digging through they had a giant box full of lamp shades. I was trying to find shades to go with the lamps, because some of them didn't have them, and or to switch out the lamp shades. And he said, oh, did you know there's more lamps across the store on the other side? And when I looked over, I could see all the brass lamps from there. So I'm like, oh, I gotta make my way over there to see what's over there. So when I got over there, I was like, wow, this is a lot of, you know, like brass lamps. And the one I went to pick up, in fact, I can't even lift it with my arm. I cannot lift that with one arm. I can't lift it. And that was my weak arm. My left hand, the reason it shakes so much is I have a broken wing. Like my shoulder is, it's a whole thing. But anyways, this side is much weaker than this side. So when I try to pick things up, like my hand will shake, which you've seen plenty of times in my videos. But I just wanted to explain that a little bit. In fact, the thrift with me, that happens, and sometimes I have to switch hands, because this is my strong hand, and, you know, this is the hand that puts the key in the door, and this is the one that holds all the groceries. So anyways, I went to pick this up, and I couldn't pick it up. I'm like, holy crap, like, that's really heavy. So then I was like, well, what about this one back here? And I'm like, it's heavy, but at least I could lift it. So I'm going to put this one down. Oh my Lord, it's so heavy. I got to use 2 hands. And I'm going to get this one. Now, I got, oh, just making sure I'm not going to hit anything above me here. So this is what the lamp looks like. And I was like, look how beautiful that is. Now I got to get a shade for it. And it has a really nice finial on the top. You guys can see, oh, let me block my face so you guys can see that. I'm like, for $1.50, I want this lamp. To be honest, I could have filled 2 or 3 carts with all of the brass lamps that were there. I was like, holy crap. Now there were some there that weren't vintage and they weren't of good quality and things like that. Those I wouldn't have put in my cart. Then I went back to look at this one because I was like, dang it, why was this one so heavy? And then that's when I saw it. So I'm going to show you guys this lamp. Let me put my face behind it so you guys can see it. This is just so heavy. And it's in really good condition. And then, if you guys can see it right, let me make sure. It's right there. Can you guys see what that says? It says Stiffle. The only reason I even knew what this was was because I've been watching the Crazy Lamp Lady for years. I've been watching her videos when she was the Crazy Lamp Lady and was always buying lamps and always talking about them. And she had mentioned that name quite a few times. I'm actually wearing her sweatshirt right now. I got some of her swag on here. And I'm like, I got to get that for $1.50. So I was talking to my daughter on the phone and she goes, well, plug them in. Make sure they work. Make sure they work. And I was thinking, who cares if they work for $1.50? But I did it anyways. I went over, found a plug, turned them in, plugged them in, turned them on. And they all worked fine. I was like, they all work fine. I'm getting them. I'm getting them all. So I looked up this one. So all in on, oh, I know what it was before I tell you that. I paid $15 at the Center of, or the Hope, no, the Grace Center of Hope. Let me pick up that lamp again. Okay. So I comped this out in the store and they go for between $65 and $85 on eBay. That's why I picked it up also. I'm like, for $1.50, I was willing to take a chance on it without knowing what the comp was. But I was like, let me just make sure before I pick it up because it is super heavy. To ship this is going to be expensive. So I do have that choice of, do I really want to sell it on eBay or do I want to sell it locally? We'll see how that works out. And you'll see that in an upcoming listing video. But I am definitely selling this lamp. For now, I think I'm going to keep that one, but that one might also be for sale. I want to do a little more research to figure out who the maker is, because there's no maker's mark or anything on that other brass lamp. But I do know, that it's vintage. You can just tell by looking at it and the weight of it. So anyways, that is my total haul. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to put this down. The link. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you guys later.